Hello, beautifuls. So today I am going to be talking about Walking Dead controversial decisions and, well, 5 decisions, and the last one is an opinion that I will be talking about my opinions and how I feel about how they did these things. So the first up, is Morgan leaving The Walking Dead to go to Fear the Walking Dead. In my opinion, well, controversially, he was in the beginning of the comics, but he didn't really appear after that. He did not appear after that in the comics. But in the Walking Dead show, they decided to make him appear. So really that gave them leeway to do whatever they wanted with him. He was an amazing character in The Walking Dead, but in my opinion, he's one of the only things that made him and Strand are one of the only things that made Fear the Walking Dead a good show. Him and Strand, Victor Strand, were like the only things I liked about Fear. However, I wouldn't say it was a good decision to make him leave, because he was an amazing character in The Walking Dead, and he would have continued to be an amazing character and have amazing growth as he was currently doing, but he needed the more character development that he got with Grace and Mo in Fear the Walking Dead. Because sure, Mo wasn't his actual child, but he treated her like his child. That was his and Grace's child. I do miss Grace. She was an amazing character. Very sad about that. But I think it was the best decision to put him in the other show. Great character development was made for him. I didn't think he was ever gonna love nobody after what happened to his wife in the first season. And what happened to his son in the first season, I never thought he was ever gonna feel that way. Like, whenever him and Grace, started having a thing, I was confused. I didn't even think he knew how to do that. But he does. And honestly, she was really good for him. She was really good for him. Radiation is a bitch. Okay, so my second controversial thought we are talking about today is them faking Glenn's death just to kill him right after. That pissed me off. That really made me mad. It was like they were edging it. Like they were just like, I love the fact that they gave him the comic book death. The comic book he had. The death he had in the comics. That was very essential for the plot of the show. So, when I was watching the show, and they just kept pretending like they're killing him off, I was like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like, leave my boy alone. He's got a baby on the way. Only to go and have his head smashed in by Negan. That brings us on to our third topic. Giving Negan a redemption arc. Was it a good idea? Did they do it well? Unpopular opinion, Negan is my second favorite character. Second to Glenn, who was my first favorite character. Ironic how my second favorite character killed my first one. I absolutely love Negan's character. I love his character development that he gets. He is such a funny person. Like, he's so unironically funny that it's insane. They should have let him get the first F-bomb in that show. If you've ever read the comics, he loves that word. Like, he uses it as a comma. Just like my mother. My mother does the same thing. But he uses it as a comma, and they gave it to Daryl in the show. They should not have. They should have given it to Negan, because he said that word at least 1,000 times in the comics. And Daryl wasn't even in the comics. I do love Daryl, though. Don't get me wrong. That was a very great add to to put him into the show. Okay. So, in my opinion, yes, they should have given Negan his redemption arc because it was very good for him. He was a horrible person, killing people just because he had such a god complex. And the way he broke Rick down just for Rick to go and break him down the same way. That was a very great contrast into how life would work in the zombie apocalypse and how people would react to such situations. Some people would freak out and go insane, like Morgan did. Some people would try and off themselves, like a few people did. That was a thing a lot of people would probably do. And then other people let power get to their head because the laws don't exist anymore and they don't have any rules. No rules equal laws. Have you ever read Lord of the Flies? If you've ever read that book, you'll know if there is no law, there is no rule, things will get crazy and people will kill people and people will not give a damn what other people think. Okay, that leads us into our fourth controversial thought, opinion. Rick leaving until the new show. There was no need. There was no need to make that man leave. That's my next one. Get it. There was no need for them to get rid of him and make him come back like 10 years later in another fucking show. No need. There's no need for them to do that. Like, you kill his son, and then he gets kidnapped. I don't like that girl that kidnapped him, Anne, or Judith, whatever her name is. I don't like her. She's a little creep. And my man Gabriel deserved better than her. Our fifth one. Killing off Carl. Sorry. Killing off Carl. I understand why they had to do it. He turned 18. They were not going to pay him as an adult, even though he was he's the biggest part of the comics. And they weren't going to pay him as an adult, and he wanted to go to college, so he was just like, I'm just going to leave. So, I understand that. But he was such a big part of the comics. They should have paid him as they were paying everyone else, because he was such a good character. He literally made it until 20 years into the apocalypse in the comics. Not to mention he got married to Sophia, who died in the first season. Another controversial thought, this one is not on the list, is Carol's character in the comics was horrible. Everyone, yes, she's an amazing character in the show, but it's everyone forgets that she was one of the worst characters in the comics. She absolutely sucked in the comics, and I don't know why everyone just keeps forgetting this. It's half the people who are obsessed with the show have never read the comics. My mother, who got me onto the show, has never read the comics, and she sits here and tries to argue with me about things. And I'm like, Mom, you haven't watched the first season of The Walking Dead in 10 years. Calm yourself. Okay, I think I know what I'm talking about. I've watched the show 10 times in the past 2 years, and I've read the comics 6 times. I reread those in my school library. Our last controversial thought is Alpha worse than Negan? In my opinion, yes. Yes, she was, because Negan had a soft spot for kids. Alpha did not. Alpha treated her own child horribly, while Negan treated said child better than she did. He treated all children better than she did. And I mean, yeah, he was horrible. He made a whole harem of women, but she was still worse than him. Way much worse than him. I mean, I don't know. I might just be biased here because he is one of my favorite characters, I never liked her. She's always, yeah, in my opinion, very much so, she is worse than him. Because, for one, she dies before she even gets a chance at a redemption arc, so you never even know if she could be better. Well, he could. Although, I've never watched Dead City, so I don't really know what happened with him and Maggie in the newest show that they have. Really need to watch that one. I'm currently on the Daryl show. But those are my controversial thoughts for today. I actually think this is the first video I'm going to post. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. Bye, beautifuls. I'll see you later.